YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. We are back in some GOR-ROK campaign. I know many of you thought it was dead, and I guess it kind of was for a while. Let me explain why. When I get a new copy of the game for press release, I have to go into Steam, I have to change the beta version that I'm on, and it changes the game. Then all the mods have to be updated, and it's hard to record this because I'm busy trying to get ready for the next one. I have to be playing it, I have to be recording it, getting ready for embargoes. Then there was a bunch of stuff going on. The Imperator Rome project I had to do. Didn't have to do, I wanted to do. And then I had stuff that I'm working on for MSI, I'm still working on. I've got new content for Warhammer 2, new content for 3K, so things are just busy. Busy. And then Halo came out, yeah, all kinds of stuff going on. Anyway, here we are in the GOR-ROK campaign, and holy crap, we got some stuff going on, folks. I've got... how long is it going to take to return here? Troops replenished per turn. 1? Why is it taking so long? Did we get like a hit to our replenishment rate? I don't understand. Yeah. Unseasonable weather, casualty replenishment rate, -20. Well, that stinks. Anyway, we've got a couple of things going down. One, we got some high elves up here. I wonder if they'll fight me. If they'll fight GOR-ROK, that'd actually be great. GOR-ROK is totally capable of taking a crap all over what they got here, so let's... It doesn't think we're capable of taking a crap on him, but I don't know, maybe I'm overconfident. I think we can. Let's go do it. The High Elves have themselves a very nice defensive position with their Prince high atop his Eagle, overseeing a couple of choke points, essentially, here, where there's going to be some Phoenix Guards and other units holding it up. But Krok is going to immediately make his presence on the battlefield known. Merry Christmas, folks. Krok just popped the High Elf Corn. And I guess corn, like K-H-O-R-N-E? What? Alright, anyway, Warhammer jokes aside, you're going to see the High Elves here struggling to keep the Dread Saurian at bay. The Shredder of Lustria is going to be shredding his way right on through with the protection from Krok's shield. And the Great White Lizard is back, folks. And he is a white Christmas. Just not the type of Christmas that the High Elves want. Yes, I'm recording this on Christmas in case you're wondering later. But yeah, so the main lines clash, and the Elves really just don't have enough to hold back my main line. And you can see that Krok and the Shredder pushing through on this front, and then the High Elves attempting to desperately hold back the Temple Guard and my Saurus Cavalry on the other flank. But again, they are going to be facing overwhelming odds. My Temple Guard are quite powerful, and with the backup of the Cavalry, they're going to be dishing some massive damage. And despite the support of the Phoenix units here, they'll only be able to hold that line for so long. Wasn't a lot of winds of magic in this battle, just wasn't able to drag down as much as I would have liked. This Phoenix Guard fights pretty valiantly, as one would expect from a Phoenix Guard. My Saurus Warriors deal a ton of damage, and by a ton, let me just give you an idea here. That is 63 weapon strength on top of 52 attack. But really the biggest stat there is the 73 defense that I've got up on mine. Look at that, that's 20 more defense than the Phoenix Guard. So just to give you an idea of just how strong the Saurus Warriors are that fight for the wielder of the Shield of Aeons. Yeah, he's a big lizard. Oh man, it's been too long, folks. Yeah, so I think I mentioned earlier that the reason it's been so long is I had to get the mods working right, make sure everything was going to work and not crash. I had a couple of issues, but got it worked out. I'm going to push through with the Horned ones here. They're just going to plow right on through and get to these Shadow Warriors. This is actually probably kind of a speciality for the Horned ones. They're very, very good at chopping through expensive backline units. They have armor piercing, they've got a shield. Definitely be a nice niche for them to live in. And my Temple Guard is broken through, and then the Shredder is going to help them shred through the last few poor elf souls who are unfortunate enough to still be in this battle. See, the Prince thinks that he's going to take on the Krok. Krok has other ideas about who's going to win this fight. Not that he really belongs in melee, but he held himself just fine there. Was able to push back the Prince. and we're going to get a solid victory. Well, I guess I've kind of forgotten just how OP the Great White Lizard is, because, wow, we just kicked the living crap out of whatever his name is here. I mean, what kind of name is that anyway, man? Come on, High Elves. I'm going to finish this dude. It's a little bit risky because there's another enemy army not too far out in front of me. Eat the casualties there, and then I'm going to fall back into Kalidor's Repose. See that... Oh my goodness! Oh boy. Oh man, the High Elves have... Whoa. Yeesh. Alright, they have chosen a response. That could be a little interesting because we don't know exactly... Yikes. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Things about to get interesting, folks. I don't know what else to say. I don't even know how we begin to beat the... Alright, so we got a... I should have gotten a dump skill point mod. Because we got nothing left to put it on for old... crap, what's the... It's been too long. Croak. For Croak. Good grief. Shows you how long I took in between these things. So we got 7 skill points left. Protection of the old ones. We're not going to get any more of those. We've gotten up to Deadly Onslaught. We've done everything here to make his troops more awesome. What else do we want to make amazing? Temple Guards? Yeah. Makes sense. Finish buffing up the Temple Guards in our army. Wow, man, our units are absurd, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Let's see what else we got here. Hola the Skink. Hola the Skink. Let's finish piercing shots, maybe? Oh, I got a lot to remember on where we were at. We'd completely shut down Teclis, and I believe we have finished off all of our enemies from, yeah, faction destroyed, Vessels of Chaos, so they've been fixed. I think we just need to resettle our land. John Hammond and his Jurassic brood here. Oh man, it's starting to come back to me. It is starting to come back to me. It's been way too long. Jungle Domination. Spawnkin. Salamanders, Bastillodon, Stegodon, Carnosaur, Dreadsaurian. There we go. Epicentrist. See if we can get all these units stats through the roof here. Are there any other... I think that was the only settlement we still hadn't retaken. We've never taken this one up here at the Isle of the Crimson Skull. We probably should do something about it, though, because Nagorond was quite the pest a couple of times during that turn. And let's just check all of our armies, kind of make sure we know where everything's at. We got GOR-ROK up here on Ulthuan. Gustav the Great Croc still rocking his little skinky boys. Not quite as good as whenever you're playing Tehinawan, but we're making it work, folks. We're making it work. Ooh, Chotek. We need to go resettle Chotek before someone else does. Probably a little bit closer with this army here, actually, but how we doing? Let's maybe split out over here. Teitza. He's got an awesome army here, too. I like that setup for Teitza. Let's check our buildings, because we did get some stuff torn down. We may want to make sure that we get it rebuilt. We're obviously making big cash, so... not a ton of worries there. Let's get our defenses rebuilt. And all these settlements may have been destroyed. Okay, here we go. Admiral Pardek rolling around with a Black Ark. That could get ugly. I had mentioned that we wanted massive geomantic web, and we've pretty much got that all across Lustria. It needs to be rebuilt at Laxland, but I mean, there's little I can do about that at the moment. Let's see anywhere else it needs to be built. Spectzuma, it's being built. And then we don't control the Crimson Isle, so not much I can do about it there. And we're waiting on growth here at the Turtle Isles. So in order to facilitate said growth, let's upgrade that port. Let's head back over here, get out of this screen, get the geomantic web off. Let's go check here, Forbidden Jungle. I have a little bit of cash left, so we can start building up some of these other facilities. Probably this one unlocks the animal resources for trade. Might as well. Might as well. Unlocks technologies, tablet of spawning, growth. Yeah, I mean, we don't really need growth here. All the other support facilities, not really something that we need at the moment. Let's see. Untainted is never bad to have around. Untainted plus public order. Let's do that mixture one. Forbidden jungle. Let's go ahead and upgrade here. Actually, you know what? Let's save that money. May need it for some bigger buildings in the next turn. I think we are ready to end a turn. Just gotta handle reissuing some of these commandments here. We could kick off the next ritual, but I kind of want to get better positioned to do so. I've got nothing down south, basically. So we need to get repositioned. Who do we got here? So here's Patchy. We could move Patchy to the south a little, maybe down to Marks of the Old Ones. And then we've got Furak here, which is another army we've created probably more recently. We'll move it back to Itza. This army can move on south, and then I'll keep Gustav. We'll go get Shotek. And this may be a good splitting point, actually, kind of just like right over here. We'll kind of just split all over our territory, which means that any one of our armies could get caught out, but, you know, they can help defend a settlement and slow down our enemies. Oh man, that kind of stinks. We've never picked up the Mace of Ulamak. We have to raise or sack 3 settlements belonging to Skaven. I don't even know where the Skaven are at right now, or if they're even on the map. I mean, Skaven have mostly been wiped out. Ability, weapon gained, Mace of Ulamak. Well, never mind. I guess we have it. Because the quest was aborted. Sweet! We got the mace. Good for me. Surely we got something better than that for GOR-ROK. Magic resistance. Ward save? Let's give him a ward save. Alright, I'm trying to think about what to do about that dragon army. That's going to be nuts. And it looks like the Cetra has besieged me at Lothern, and he doesn't have reinforcements, but it thinks he's going to win anyway? Is the auto-resolve on Warpstone here? They gotta be on Warpstone. This doesn't make any... Alright, we're gonna kill him. Well, Virakara is going to be facing off against Cetra the Imperishable. That is quite a title to bring to a battle. Was he just scratching his back with that thing? I think he was. Must make a nice back scratcher. Anyway, here he is, Virakara. And he's got a couple of Dread Boys with him. He's got a Dread Saurian and a Feral Dread Saurian. It'll be supporting, see some initial missile volleys here coming in from the Tomb Kings who are making their way through the woods. And you can see here the volleys, the burning gaze of Shem coming off of the 2 Arrow Titans here. Named after me. See, look. Oh, the E and the I are switched. Anyway, Arrow Titans. Making their way, and these are such cool looking units. You don't get to see these enough because they are not fantastic in multiplayer, but really a pretty fun unit all around in terms of how it looks and like the laser eyes and all the other cool stuff you get. So I'm going to send my infantry line forward. This is going to be comprised of Blessed Saurus warriors, I believe, and we're also going to have Temple Guard on the flanks. You're going to see Cetra using his magics here, and he's going to come on in early. Almost went straight into the mouth of my Dread Saurian there. And he's going to use some of his special abilities. But we're going to start trying to triple team him, basically, and push him back. He will be quite tough. You can see that the battle is going to get properly underway here. The Tomb Guard are going to be engaged by my Saurus warriors. And then my Temple Guards will be moving along the flanks. And then as far as cavalry goes, I've got some Spear Riders on one flank, and they're going to make a move towards the Tomb King archers here shortly. See, I'm going to debuff their accuracy and then get on the move. I do have reinforcements coming in from Lothern, and I was able to get some of my Temple Guardsmen behind the lines already. You can see the Arrow Titans here trying to put up a strong fight with their laser eyes, but they are actually being picked apart by two Razor Dawn hunting packs. And this is the type of target that a Razor Dawn pack will just absolutely excel against. You're going to see him basically delete this Hyro Titan, and the other one will go behind it rather quickly. So Cetra came into this battle with the auto-resolve heavily favoring him. But yeah, he's not looking so good right now. I am able to swing this Cold One cavalry around into the back of this blob, and we're going to mop this thing up. There was some Ushabti in there supporting. And we're going to take our skink cohorts all the way around the flanks. Now, I do have two ancient salamanders that I'm using not in an ideal manner. They took out some archers early on. And here they're going to be hacking up some flaming fur balls onto the, or scale balls, I guess, since they don't have fur, onto the chariot archers, which are otherwise just sitting back here without a whole lot of opposition at the moment. Though my skinks are now in range, and they're going to start raining poison javelins all over these unarmored skeletons, and that will be enough to convince these skeletons that they really need to just get back in the grave. It's a safer place for them. No doubt about that. Now, the ancient salamanders would be best at busting up expensive infantry, kind of skirmishing them up a little bit before the fight, but that is not something that's needed at the moment. You can see that Cetra is in way over his head, and his title of Imperishable has been exaggerated, because guess what? He perished, as will the rest of his troops, and Virikara gets himself an epic victory. Have you got skeletons in your closet, on your lawn, in front of your city? No matter what the problem is, folks, call Virikara Extermination, and skeletons will be gone, including those that claim to be imperishable. Later, chumps. All right, so we're gonna be feasting on skeleton bones tonight. Kill and eat. Armor of Fortune. Sounds very nice. So we can get some blessed spawnings if we need it. That can come in very handy during a ritual if we need to quickly replenish anything. Here's Virikara here. Let's give him some Proud Warrior upgrades. What do we gotta get to? 18? We're close to a Carnosaur here with this Scar Veteran. That would indeed be nice, but we are not quite there. Let's go with Woundmaker and then Deadly Onslaught. Let's see here. Skink Priest. He's got himself a Pterodon for safe riding. Through the Skies, Arcane Conduit. Let's go with Earthing. And our replenishment, not so good over here because of, what was it? Unseasonable weather for 2 more turns. That is unfortunate. It's not affecting GOR-ROK near as much, though, because his army is much more skilled at replenishing. We cannot apply these skill points to Lord Croak. And Val's Anvil. We can finally put in some defenses, which would seem appropriate, given that this island is going to be hotly contested, folks. Hotly contested. I actually don't think we need this. Don't think we need that, because we'll be able to get some blessed spawnings. And this building doesn't really belong here either, so let's rebuild Kalidor's Repose properly. Never know when that dang crazy army is going to hit us here, too. Let's rebuild Chakwa. Get it back to what it should be. Let's go see if there's any of these other settlements that are kind of in a rebuild. I know there's a lot of buildings to be built, and we should have plenty of money. Nagaron. How many turns were remaining? 12 turns remaining. We're not in any hurry there. We can wait. We can wait and hurt Nagaron later in that ritual. Kind of bounce them off. I do want to get a few things rebuilt for us, which I think will be key to get underway quickly. We're already building the Trove, so we don't have to worry about that. Just put in some public order at the main chain, get our trade back, build that up, and then we'll rebuild the defenses. Let's hold up here at Laxlin. And I'm thinking this army... how are we going to get set up? We're going to have one at Itza. Paachi down here at Marks the Old One. That'll put him a decent bit south. Trying to kind of keep the armies placed nicely. Almost thinking about pushing this army down here to Keytax. I don't know if that'll be too far, but let's push them down there. We can get rid of this idiot army that's raiding me anyway. And I think that's all we really need to do for this turn end as well. We'll engage the Ritual of Deliberation quite soon. Alright, a lot is going on, folks. We've finished our research there, though, so that's exciting. Got more to do, though. It's well underway. Settlements besieged, sacrifice to Mathlon, settlement besieged. So let's go to our settlement sieged. Calidor's Repose. Oh my dragons. Ridiculous. I was about to say, hey, we need to move down here to Lothern because the city's under siege. Yeah. Imagine Dragons happened. Oh my gosh. Can we beat this? Is this even beatable? All those breath attacks? And the AI loves to cycle charge and use their breath attacks. Phew. I don't know. I do not know. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. We could sacrifice the garrison units to try and draw some breath attacks and stuff. See what happens. Alright, well, this battle's going to be a little terrifying. I've got to face down 15 dragons. Yes, 15. That's AI recruiting and upkeep for you, because apparently they don't suffer from any of that. Now, their faction is enormous, and I would imagine they would have a large amount of funds at their disposal. Now, this is going to work out exactly the way I want. My my poor Pterodon riders here are going to be dragon vomit bait, and because the AI is very quick on the trigger with its breath attacks, I'm going to be drawing in massive amounts of breath attacks, all of which won't be able to be directed at my infantry later. So every breath attack that is thrown at my poor cohort here, yeah, these guys, the Poha Sentinels, I almost forgot their name there for a minute. So the Poha Sentinels really taking one for the team here, getting all those breath attacks out of the dragon. Now, oddly, even though my units in the woods over here are completely invisible, this dragon just kind of almost flying straight at them. But it's kind of good. He's flying right towards a bunch of chameleon skinks and the Pop Hapak cohort, and hardly better units out there to deal with the dragon, because the chameleon skinks are going to be heavily upgraded and really throwing down a beating here. You can see this dragon's going to get overhead and try and use its breath attacks, but not before the chameleon skinks start to welcome him to the party. So he's going to waste a breath attack on some skink cohorts here. Poor skinks. Anyway, speaking of breath attacks, the Poha Sentinels managed to get one or two more thrown at them. So anything I can do, you can see that I've positioned in the woods for a couple reasons. One, it should negate some of the damage the dragons will do since they're large, and they shouldn't function as well in the woods. Unfortunately for me, though, they go straight for Croak, who I should have hidden right in the middle of the Star Chamber Guardians or something, but Croak is in some big trouble. GOR-ROK, no problem. He can handle himself in this fight against basically however many dragons, but you can see Croak is going to start getting dead. I mean, he is dead, right? It's kind of hard to tell with him. Anyway, the fight gets going real quick, and there's going to be some, what little infantry the High Elves have brought to the fight gets engaged over here along with some of their dragons. I will use Croak to bust that infantry, but fortunately for me, a few dragons get kind of singled out. Like this one gets surrounded by 2 cavalry units and then attacked by the Thunderous one, and then others just kind of get themselves buried in an infantry blob, and yeah, my infantry here is going to be very, very powerful, and then GOR-ROK is buffing that infantry and then throwing in some attacks of his own. Croak is able to break up the what little infantry the High Elves had. You can now see them exploded all over the ground. The Shredder of Lustria trampling on their corpse, and then my skink flank over here, which was the few reinforcements I had, are pushing in and chasing one of the dragons that they've managed to badly damage in the process. So it's been a very, very good battle for me so far, all things considered. In fact, it's swinging rather quickly into my favor as the dragons are starting to absorb tremendous amounts of damage at the hands of my Temple Guard and Saurus warriors, and my guys can really dish it out here. Now they do continue to chase Croak, and Croak very nearly dies here to a vomiting dragon, but he's able to get some Saurus warriors into his aid. and stop the pursuit. And since he can heal, thank goodness, he's going to be moving away from this fight and healing. And the rest of the enemies are already kind of being driven from the battlefield. Many dragons have fallen. You can see some of their corpses on the ground, and others have fled the scene. My poor Poha Sentinels mostly gave up their life, but I would say that they were the MVPs in this one. Well, once again, I guess I underestimate the strength of GOR-ROK's army. That was a whole lot of dragons. And let's see, we put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dragons and sent the rest packing. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll take it. Alright, well, I think that puts us in a decent place for this episode. We have to be careful. I need to go assist Virakara. He's got 2 stacks of Tomb Kings after him. Not crazy strong, but strong. So I'll have to watch out. But at the same time, replenishment is a little bit slow, but GOR-ROK's army will replenish some over the turn in. And, I mean, they're not going to break into Lothern that quickly. I wonder if we could... We need to finish these guys. I wonder if we can finish them off. I'm going to quick save it in case it injures GOR-ROK, or Lord Croak. Nope. We're good. So finish those guys off. Picked up an armor anyway. We could use an armor. We're kind of short on a lot of items. So that also gives GOR-ROK yet another skill point. And we can finish off the Sacred Guardians, which will make our Temple Guards just that much more effective. And they're already pretty effective. So I think that puts us in good shape. I know this episode was not necessarily part of a ritual, but it's back. I'm going to keep this going. I want to try and keep it in manageable chunks. So we're going to start the Ritual of Deliberation on the next one, and we'll work our way towards the final ritual while stopping Nagaron and continuing to put pressure on the High Elves. We've got to shut down the Tomb Kings here. I've done so much damage to the Tomb Kings, and we've done quite a bit to the High Elves, but there's a lot to be done. You can see the High Elves managed to get down here and get a foothold right in the middle of the territory of my ally. I don't really know how this is. They don't have any armies over here? Dude, what's up? You're strength rank 3. Where's your armies? Let's see if we can find his armies. Where are they at? I should be able to see allied armies, right? Here's one. So there's Mazdamundi. He's only rocking skinks. Come on, man, get OP. Tic-tac-toe. Got an army here. It looks like all of his armies are maybe focused. Yeah, he's got all of his armies focused over here against Katep, and then there's one up here cutting into the this Tehinawin, cutting into the holds of the High Elves on Nagaron, and then the Dark Elves only have like 1 settlement left up there. They're in bad shape. The Dark Elves are in very bad shape. I wonder what their overall strength rating is. 4? That's interesting. I don't know where they have a strength rating of 4 from, but anyway, alright, at least we kind of know where we stand, what we're up against. We're going to continue, like I said, to disrupt the High Elves, and the more of these armies we beat down for the Tomb Kings, the better. It just means that they've got less forces over here. So, HeirofCarthage signing out from the GOR-ROK campaign for now. It will be back, folks, and yes, we're going to be continuing Malix and Snitch as well. There'll be plenty to go around, lots of content. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you next time.